Welcome back to the Cube 365 platform training. In the previous chapter, we created a form and configured its basic structure. In this chapter, we'll build on that by covering advanced form design features, including master lists, display conditions, mandatory conditions, general settings, and form permissions. If you have a field such as department across multiple forms with the same options, you can manage those options in one place using a master list. To begin, navigate to System Settings, then Master Lists, and click Add New List. Enter a name for your list, and optionally include a parent list, description, or tags. Once the list is created, you can begin adding items. For this example, we'll add IT, Human Resources, Legal, and Finance. Search for items using the search bar on the right. Then, on the left, use the Manage button to export, import, or integration import the master list. We'll export the list to save it as a CSV file. Now, if there are items that are deleted, you can import the master list using the CSV file. If you want to overwrite existing items, enable Replace All Items before importing. To apply the master list to a form field, go to your form and navigate to the Form Designer. Select the relevant field, in this case, Department. Under Option Type, select Master List, choose your list, and save. Then publish the form for the changes to take effect. The key advantage of master lists is that any updates made will automatically reflect across all forms that use them. For example, adding a new department like marketing will update every form that references the master list. Next, we'll cover hidden fields and display conditions. Hidden fields allow you to hide fields from the user viewing the form. Once toggled, we can preview the form and see that the field is no longer visible. Display conditions, however, allow you to hide a field until a specific condition has been met. Click on the field you want to conditionally show. Then click on Field Properties and then navigate to Display Conditions. Add a condition group. For this example, we'll set the condition so that the work arrangement field only appears when employment type is set to contract. Once saved, you'll notice that the hidden toggle is on and disabled, indicating that a display condition is controlling the field's visibility. When you preview the form, the work arrangement field will be hidden by default. Selecting Contract under employment type will cause the field to appear. Removing that selection will hide it again. Another useful feature is making a field mandatory. Mandatory fields require the user to fill in those fields before they can submit a form. Simply toggle the mandatory setting on for the relevant fields. For this example, we'll make full legal name, personal email, department, and the confirmation checkbox mandatory. Once published, if a user attempts to submit without completing the required fields, a pop-up will appear indicating incomplete required fields, and the relevant fields will be highlighted. For table containers, you can also enable mandatory conditions on individual fields. Additionally, you can set a minimum number of rows to ensure the user fills in at least one entry. Combined with mandatory field settings within the table, this effectively requires the user to complete at least one full row before submitting. General settings give you control over a range of form behaviors. These are grouped into submission settings, requester settings, notification settings, icon settings, and custom CSS and JavaScript settings. Under submission settings, you can require a lock before a submission can be modified, prevent user action while background processes such as integrations are running, allow anonymous submissions, display form information to the user such as the reference ID, status, and created date, allow form downloads, expand the workflow history table, allow custom URL redirection, and allow an approver to recall their approval before the next approver takes action, requiring a comment before deleting or canceling a submission, allow lazy fields rendering, designating the form as an admin form, displaying a delete confirmation for file upload fields, and including global CSS in downloaded forms. Under requester settings, you can allow requesters to cancel an in-progress workflow submission, allow requesters to copy a previous submission as the basis for a new one, and allow a master list item owner to view submissions made by a requester that reference their item. Notification settings allow you to customize the email form URL label, the email form URL itself, and configure an alternate SMTP sender. Icon settings allow you to change the icon displayed for the form. Any changes made here will be reflected on the Forms page once saved. Finally, you can upload custom CSS and JavaScript files under the Custom CSS and JavaScript settings. Lastly, we'll go over form permissions. Form permissions control which users can access and interact with a form. There are several predefined roles available. Form administrators have full access. Requesters are the only users who can submit the form if one or more requesters are defined. Restricted users have no access to the forms. Readers can view and search all submissions. You can view which users or groups are assigned to each role, view the role permissions, and edit the users or settings by clicking the Edit button. Permission settings for predefined roles are fixed and cannot be changed. To create a custom role, click Add Form Role. Give the role a name. In this example, the role name is Editors, and add a description. Assign users or groups to the role. You can assign individual users, user groups, everyone, or filter by user profile properties. For this example, we'll assign the development user group. Next, define the role permissions. We'll allow this role to edit and publish the form, but not delete or roll back. Under submission permissions, we'll allow them to view all submissions. Click Save, and the new role will appear at the bottom of the permissions list. That concludes this chapter on advanced form design in Kube 365. You should now have a foundational understanding of how to use master lists, configure display conditions, configure mandatory fields, manage general settings, and edit form permissions. Thanks for watching.